You were talking about Canada and how Canada kind of plays its role towards racism and police brutality, right? I've lived in the United Kingdom. I've lived in Canada, and as a Middle Eastern man, I've kind of dealt with something called quiet racism, which is it's underlying. It's this undertone towards pretty much anything that you do, your interactions with other people. There's a tone of racism stereotyping that exists within it, right? There's also this notion on social media. Again, there's always going to be a yes or no on social media, right? Everybody's polarizing opinions, but there's this notion that Canada doesn't have racism. You know, there's a lot of people pushing that. Like, I saw this tweet saying that Canada probably thinks like they're living under a meth lab with the United States, which is funny. It's funny, but at the end of the day, I think the same thing can be applied to Canada, especially when you look at Indigenous people, what they've done with Black people as well, and just people of color in general. Like, there's clear racism here as well. What do you have to say to people that say that it's just a United States issue?
I think they need to wake up. Wake up, man. This is not just an American thing, right? This is a global issue. I've lived in many countries, and I've experienced it in many countries, man. To be honest, I've experienced it. I've experienced it here in Toronto, and it's just something that people just fail to actually recognize. Like, I remember having conversations and bringing up, or people talking about certain issues, and they're like, "Why is it always a race thing?" Because most of the time, it is a race thing, And sometimes people don't want to bring it up because they don't think, because it has never happened to them, so they can't really relate. They can't relate.
Yeah.
So it's hard for them to say, how is it a race thing when it is a race thing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this issue that has happened in the States last week with George Floyd, this is what's opening up conversation, or open up the bag of worms, or you know what I mean? Like, it's real. And this is stuff that I've known, that my other Black brothers and sisters know that has been happening or happened to them. Mm-hmm. And now it's for the world to see. And people are like surprised and outraged now. So it's happening in Toronto. It's happening in Canada. Like, and it's not just Black people. Like, I have East Indian friends that have experienced it. Yep. I have Chinese friends that have experienced it. Yep. So it's nothing new, right? So nothing new.
Exactly. I agree with you. I 100% agree with you on that.